Good morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever time you're listening to the radio, or if you're online live. I am Trichologist Lisa Akbari. You're here, doctor. And today I am really excited about today's show. I always get these wet wipes because I have stuff that's always on me. I don't know. Messy, messy me. Well, welcome to the show. If you're just tuning in for the very first time, or if you've tuned in, on a regular basis, thank you. If you're tuning in for the very first time, I'm Trichologist Lisa Akbari. You're here, doctor. And today we're going to have a really exciting show. I'm here each and every week right here live in the WDI studios, and I stream live. So if you want to contact me, if you have a question for me, you can hit me up in my chat room. It is now open. Also, you can email me. You can go to my YouTube page to chat live streaming, or you can go to my email address. And my email address is lisa@lisaakbari.com. And that's LISAAKBARI.com. So that's LISA@LISAAKBARI.com. I'm Trichologist Lisa Akbari. For the next hour, oopsie. Okay. For the next hour, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whatever time it is for you. Because listen, guys, I am here live in the WDI studios and iHeartRadio, and we're going to have a great, absolutely fantastic show. I'm really, really excited about the show because I'm going to be talking about many things. There are things have had questions about, you email me about, and then I always try to talk about things that are current, things that are happening, things I know people have challenges with. One of the things we're going to use our celebrity news. I always try to do some celebrity hair news, but we're going to talk a little about some of the I want to say ladies who wear naturally straight hair, or Caucasian women or Asian women, and they wear more ethnic hairstyles. I want to talk about that a little bit, and what difference does it really make? A lot of them are now apologizing about their hairstyle, wondering if it's culturally appropriate. Interesting. And so I just want to kind of talk about that for just a minute. And we're going to use that in our celebrity here. And then we're going to talk about these messages about locks, because, a lot of times we have some controversy to just kind of peek up its head as it relates to women wearing locks in the workplace. And I just want to kind of get that. I mean, I did a show on natural hair in the workplace, and so many folks said that they're just, they're over it. They haven't had any problems with it anymore. So I'm hoping that it's over. But what I said before, as it relates to natural hair, what I have found to be true, just listening to my patients, I found to be true that it's kind of going undercover. So where there's just sly remarks about it. It's not really where someone can lose their job anymore over it, but it's suggested, okay, when you go in that group, you're going to go in a group with a bunch of white males or something of that sort. And then we're like, okay, maybe you shouldn't wear that hairstyle. Maybe you should wear your hair straight. You don't want to be threatening. You get that kind of, let me just kind of give you a heads up kind of thing. And I guess that would be appropriate in some cases, but hey, I think it's just, it's undercover. All right. And then we're going to talk about things people put in their hair, like one of the articles that was in Essence magazine, it was talking about putting like this new hair glitter and hair drama. It's not really new because it's something that has been around like forever, but it's like coming back. So we're going to talk about what that does to your scalp and to your hair. Does it really harm your hair? Are we really going overboard with some of this hair glitter and hair gold leaves and things like that? And then I want to talk about protecting your hair, and we're going to date the show, I know, by saying this, but we're going to talk about protecting your hair from the sun and chlorine and salt water, and how to protect your hair and your scalp, because so often we don't think about our scalp. We're going to talk about that today as well. I'm pretty excited about that because anytime I can talk about protecting the hair from and preserving the hair from just anything that we tend to do on a regular basis, I think I get really excited about that. Also really big, it's been around for a while, micro ring hair extensions, and for thinning hair or to obtain length. Let's talk about how safe that is. I mean, I don't know if you've heard about it. It's a big deal, and you know, it's pretty cool, and I like it, but there are some things you have to watch for. I'm going to talk about that as well. And then this mesotherapy, you know, it's mesotherapy injections basically, and we're going to talk about what that is, and is it something that's going to be good for the for hair loss? Is it going to help you regrow your hair? What's really in it? What are the side effects? Also, we're going to compare it to the steroid injections, and why would we do the steroid injections and instead of the mesotherapy, and what's the big difference, and does it really help at the end of the day for women who are suffering from alopecia? So that's going to be something exciting today. And then finally, and this always comes up, protein versus moisturizers. I mean, seriously, am I protein sensitive? Is there such thing as protein sensitive? What is really going on? Well, we're going to talk about that as well today. So welcome to the show. This is Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor. And for the next 30, I said 30, and next 45, 55 minutes or so, we're going to have an exciting show. You just heard me. It's action-packed. But first, I know you on the radio won't be able to see me, but you ladies that are tuning in, thank you very much. My cyber family, hello, hello. You can see what I'm going to do. I always do something with my hair, guys. You know I have to do that because the big thing is we are always thinking that our hair is hard to manage, or we have to get it in a style and put it there. And there's so many professional women out there who just want to rock their natural hair, and they just want to do it safe. They don't want to wear braids or twist or added hair or protective styles. They want to wear their fro. And that's something we can do. They did it in the 70s. We can do it here in 2017 and beyond. Okay, so I'm going to take my trusty scrunchie off first. You know, I always like to do my trusty scrunchie. And this is one of those ones, and I always tell you guys that I always have the little ribbon so you can see. You want it hair friendly. You want something that's hair friendly. So if you're going to do things with your hair at night, the first thing is dressing for bed. I twist my hair completely. And you know, one of these shows, I'm going to come in with the actual hair twisted so you can see what happens. But I have to walk through the studio, and I feel like, okay, pulling it back is probably more appropriate. But anyways, I usually twist it and tuck. It's my basic staple. I twist and tuck my hair, and then I pull it, I take it down, moisturize it, pull it back. Okay, so what I'm going to do right now is I just took my scrunchie off, and then I separate the hair, and it's really, really soft. You know, the moisture levels are really up, which is crucial for natural hair. And you know, I have natural kinky hair. And then I pull the sides down, sliding it down, the sides down, sliding it down. And I generally will shampoo this best for my hair twice a week. If I swim or if I really sweat profusely, then I'm going to shampoo more. You really have to determine that, but it's pretty hydrated. So now you see what I'm doing. I'm just separating it. And again, I'm a part of my own Get the Length program, running into all my little pitfalls that I know you guys run into, because with Get the Length, you need deep once, twice a week, depending on the condition of your hair. And so voila, here I am. You see what I've done. I just kind of fluffed my hair up, and I have a fro. I'm getting to the point where I'm going to start wearing parts, like on one of the sides or in the crown, because if I don't, what I'm going to have is a situation where the hair is just not going to stand up. So I'm just going to do that. Yay. So now I have my fro. Okay, and you can do all kinds of things with it, and you just kind of do the separating. I call it the French lacing, instead of teasing it and just kind of fluffing it out. And there it is. Okay, get your questions ready. My chat room is open. Yay. And you can email me. My chat room is open. You can go to YouTube and you can see me streaming live. Yes. You know, guys, I got a birthday coming up next month. Ooh, I'm so excited about it. I kind of love birthdays, reunions, and stuff like that. Also have a class reunion coming up. Yay to the Hamilton Wildcats. I'm so excited about my class reunion coming up. And so those are just some little social things I'm doing in my life. And I'm going to take my mom on a train ride too. I'm excited about doing that as well because she's in her 80s and she just doesn't, you know, get out a lot, doesn't want to get out a lot. And she just kind of, you know, needs some. Okay, so she loves to ride and look. So that's the reason why we're going to do the train ride. Okay, here we go. Okay, so let's get started. Now, I want to start with some of these apologies that we're now seeing sprout out up from some of these celebrities. Now, I don't know if y'all know Katy Perry. She apologized for she wanted to be sure this was culturally appropriate. She's rocking cornrows. Now, see, this is how I feel about hair. Now, I know this is the little politics of it, and I have to hear it a lot of times because my patients will bring this into the clinic. My focus is always on hair loss, hair regrowth, scalp issues, connecting with the dermatologist, endocrinologist, connecting with hairstylists, and whoever we need to connect with to help you with your hair. But these are things that you're really dealing with. No, it's really an opinion, but here we go. This singer, she feels like she's like everyone's calling her a repeat offender. Okay, that means she continues to do these hairstyles. You know, it's and then she apologized for her racially insensitivity. I mean, she's Caucasian. She did an interview back in this month, actually, with a Black Lives Matter activist, DeRay McKesson. I think that's how I'm pronounced. Kelson. They did a live stream conversation, and they talked about an array of topics, but the internet reality took notice once the Grammy award-winning song mentioned her several mistakes while attempting to celebrate other cultures. So I don't know. And she pretty much kicked off with an apology by acknowledging her misstep in the "This Is How We Do It" video. You know, she did that video where she sported a head full of cornrows. So I don't know. She has a friend that kind of schooled her on that subject of Black hair. I mean, I think that it's a really sensitive topic, and I think it's super cool how we really feel that we have to kind of correct people, and I love that. But I just think people should wear their hair the way they want it. No, that's just me. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to put a big emphasis on this. I don't know. What she said was that it says she told me about about the power of Black women's hair and how beautiful it is and the struggle. See, here's the deal. When we say struggle, what are we saying about our hair? If it's struggle, like, are we getting it accepted, or what's going on with this whole thing? I mean, what are we saying? So we could analyze this to death. I don't have a struggle with my hair. Well, you'll say, well, because you know what to do with your hair. I treat women, and the reason I'm saying this, let me kind of explain this to you. Reason I'm saying this is because I believe that women struggle across the board with their hair. Now, with that being said, I'm not going to say that we don't have some special needs with our hair, and we don't have, and I'm not going to say that we shouldn't give the right attention to those needs. And I'm definitely going to say, because I did and I'm still doing it. I do a lot of my shows on Black women and the struggles, the challenges they have with their hair. So I am definitely with you on that. But I just don't want it to appear that something's wrong with our hair. And so, and she says, and I will never understand some of the things because of who I am, but I can educate myself, and that's what I'm trying to do along the way. So, okay. So what does it mean? I mean, but, and the reason I'm saying this is because I have patients from, I always tell everyone, from African kinky hair to Asian straight and everything in between. And I have a percentage, a large percentage, growing numbers of women with naturally straight hair that come into my clinic with hair issues. And it's not just problems with alopecia, baldness. It's problems with chronic breakage and so many things. Actually, it mirrors a lot of the problems that our sisters have. So, okay, thank you. If you feel you've offended someone, um, that's fine for the apology, but it's okay. We're good. We have beautiful hair. We're okay. We're okay. You don't have to worry about it. And so don't make it an issue, Miss Perry. No worries, but thank you for the apology. And that's just my take on it. If you guys want to make a comment on that, you're welcome to do so. My chat room is open. I'm right here live in the WDIA studios. I'm Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor. And yeah, we're going to get to the stuff about our hair and scalp, but I always try to kind of stick in a little bit of celebrity news and, just some other things that relate to us in our hair and what the world is really out there saying about our hair. And the other one I want to do before we move on to some of the other things relating of our hair is the political side of this when it as it relates to locks and what are we doing here with our locks and this beautiful hair expression. I just, we want to just kind of keep this. We've just got a lot of opinions about this type of thing.
Cares what you wear. Use Sally Hansen Color Therapy. Patented arganoid formula uses intensive nourishment instant moisture. 9 out of 10 women.
Okay. Hopefully I didn't mute me out. So hold on a second. Let me just close this one out here. Okay. Okay, guys, I want to make sure I didn't mute me out. And if this comes back on, then I will pause it again. Yes, it's going to come back. Hi, I'm Trichologist Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor. Welcome to the show. Just tuning in here live in the WDI studios, and we have a great show today. We're talking about many things today, and I want to get my chat room is open. I'm going to get back over there in just a second. To just kind of talk to you guys about our hair and some of the things that we are dealing with our hair. But I just wanted to talk about the different celebrities that are just kind of leaving their messages as it relates to locks. It's a beautiful hair expression. This is what I have to say. Any celebrity or anyone that wants to wear this hair expression and grow their locks out, just remember a couple of things, and I always have to say this, that you are wearing this here. It's a low maintenance, not zero maintenance, and you have here. Two things I want you to keep in mind. Number one, that if you wear locks, it's going to be important to shampoo those locks 7 days. Keeping in mind that those locks have to be shampooed and conditioned, because everything that's in the air on you, in your house, everywhere, the locks are a trap for that debris. So you have to keep them clean inside of 7 days. Also, you have to condition because they will dry rot. You want to keep in mind that you will have problems with your locks drying out. So you have to be careful, and they will become weak. Everything that sheds from your hair, your scalp, through your natural shedding process, gets trapped in the locks. That's how you get so much length, because you don't really shed away. You shed into. You don't shed away off like everyone else's hair who won't wear locks or who are not wearing locks. You shed into the lock, so it pushes down with length. So your hair is not growing faster. You're just getting length. Now, the other piece is you got to think about your follicle. Don't let them be so heavy If you have fine hair, you probably got a smaller follicle, so you don't want them to be so heavy with length, because if you do, you may end up causing some alopecia thinning, like traction alopecia. Also, you want to make sure you keep your locks clean on the scalp level, clarified, because you could create these blockages around the mouth of the follicle. So I'm happy with our locks expression, and I'm so happy that celebrities are talking about how wonderful they are, and this is great, because this is what was missing. We really just didn't express how proud we were with our hair. So whatever we're going to do, let's do it, and let's be proud of it. And locks, kudos for all of the celebrities now coming out, too many to name, that are excited feel about our locks. I'm pretty excited about that. Okay, all right, so let's see if our chat room, what's going on our chat room. Do we have anything here? Here we are. Chat room is open.
All right, so let's see if our chat.
There we go. Okay, guys, you know you're out there, cyber family. Just make sure that let's do this. Let's put that back on and pause that. Yeah, let's give me your questions if you have them. I'm here live in the WDI studios. I'm trichologist Lisa Akbari. You're here, doctor, and for the next 35 minutes, we're going to talk about hair. Let's get down to some of the topics that I mentioned earlier, since we've got our celebrity hair out of the way. Let's talk about protecting your hair. I mean, even no matter where you're from, protecting your hair from the sun, the chlorine, and salt water is so crucial. And let's kind of differentiate all of that. What types of protection will we need for our hair? Let's keep in mind the goal here is to protect and preserve your hair strands, which is nothing more than keratinized cells just hardened into this keratin protein, manifested into a thread-like fiber called hair. So you have to protect and preserve it, just like you would wear out your clothes, you can wear out your strand. Also, you want to protect your scalp, because that's where the life is stored. Your hair is dead. It has no life. Once it emerges from your scalp. But once you get beyond the epidermis into the scalp, you are in the dermis area, which is where the manufacturing plant called the follicle is at work producing your hair, going through the various cycles of hair growth. So with that, we want to make sure we protect our sentinel, which is our epidermis, and protect and preserve our epidermis scalp, and protect and preserve our hair strand. Now from the sun, crucial. The other day, I saw a gentleman spraying sunblock on his head. I was so impressed. Now, I'm sure he was doing it because he didn't want sunburns on his bald head. But ladies and men, when you are having an issue, if you're going to be out in the sun and you have short hair, you need to use sunblock. You need to. And what I would recommend, you use this one for sensitive skin, the thicker one that you might even use with babies, and just literally smooth it in the cream. The cream is better, and just rub it over. And get the waterproof, because if you're going to get in the pool, you need that. And get that thicker cream and just smooth it over the top of your head. And do that so that you do not burn your scalp. Now, you may be bald permanently if you're a male, or having a male pattern or a female pattern or some type, but you may, and again, that, you know, the jury is out on whether it's permanent or not. We're just going to say, or you may just have shaved your head and say, hey, I just want to wear my hair shaved. A lot of folks are doing that these days. No worries. It's great. Nice expression. Beautiful. But you want to protect your skin, because you don't want degree burns. You can get a first-degree burn just burning the epidermis. It'll peel and peel and peel and be a little itchy. Or you can get a second-degree burn that's hitting that dermis, which could destroy your follicle, cause scarring, cause blistering, all kinds of problems. So you want to protect your scalp. Okay. Now, if you have hair of any length over 2 inches or more, then you want to make sure that you are protecting your scalp, but determining whether you're going to use your hair to protect it. And then you want to protect your hair. So, how do we protect our hair from the sun? The way you protect your hair, because if you think about it, you're going to sweat, right? And then you're going to dehydrate. But what you don't want to do is activate any or cause more problems and activate a product in a negative way. What I mean by that is most of us think we're in the sun and we're in the humidity, so we're hydrating. But what happens when you're in the sun, you generally sweat. Sweat is just gonna dump. It's a way the body regulates its temperature on your scalp, your hair, your scalp, anywhere on your body. Well, it does it with your scalp, but your hair will get wet because you're dumping that sweat onto your scalp. Well, it's full of waste and salt. It's just kind of a detoxing and a temperature regulator. So when it does that, it dehydrates after you cool off. So that just dries up. So the best thing to do is put moisturizer on your hair, not oil. So oil is really hot. So that oil is going to just start to melt and liquefy. And then when you get out, it's going to solidify. So you want and get cooled down. So what we want is we want something that's just going to hydrate. So when we get hot, we're going to sweat, but when we dry out, we're still, until we can get to our shower, we want to make sure that when we dry, we don't dry out. So the moisturizers have humectants, moisture binding agents that'll keep our hair from drying out and protect it from the sun. Now, here's the deal. Chlorine and salt water. You got to protect the environment. You got to protect. So if you're going to go swimming, and you're doing that daily, the first thing you want to do is do one quick fix. You want to go in the shower, shampoo your hair. That's right. Get all of those hair products out of your hair. And then you want to run your conditioner through for 60 seconds. After you do that, you're ready to go swimming. Immediately after you swim, the chlorine is chemical. So that's going to act almost like if you were relaxing your hair, or well, no, let's just say this, almost as if you were putting highlighter on your hair. Chlorine will be a problem if you leave it in your hair. It will start to lighten your hair. So you have to get that out within, I would say, you definitely don't want to wait 24 hours, but in the next few hours, and I go back and forth with that. Sometimes I'll say, well, 3 hours, within 7 hours, you got to stay within that 3 to 7. And I'm just going to park there for today. May change it later. I'm always looking at how if someone's hair is responding, and I kind of move that around. In other words, if you can get out of the pool and go shower, perfect. But if you can't, because some people kind of linger around the beach or all around the pool, and they just kind of, hey, that's no worries, but you need to do it as soon as possible. That's with the chlorine. Now with the salt water, you need to same thing, because it's an environment. You do not want to get in the pool with a bunch of hair products on. Shampoo one time, conditioner on, rinse it off, you're ready. Once you get into the pool, the salt water, you got to clean that away as well, because you got all these microorganisms, plus you've got all this salt, and it dries out. It causes lots of problems, and it burns your eyes too. Chlorine does too as well. So it's really the same thing. To protect and preserve your hair, you've got to immediately clean away the chlorine and the salt water, and any other sunblock and whatever else you put on your scalp. And then you want to be ready to condition. And if you're swimming daily, you need to make sure that you are using like conditioner you can just rinse out. Okay, just use it as an instant. All right, and that is the tip. Let's see if we have any questions. If you're just tuning in for the very first time, welcome to the show. If you are my regular, thank you, because you know I love you, cyber family. If you have questions for me, I'm here for you. I'm Trichologist Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor. I'm here each and every week right here in the WDI studios and iHeartRadio, and I'm here on now live. So, question for me, you can tune in to my live chat, or you can email me, Lisa at lisaakbari.com, and that's LISA@LISAAKBARI.com. Or you can call my institute if you just need to talk to somebody right now about an appointment to see me. You maybe with a cyber, help you out with like a cyber consultation, which are great. Those cyber consultations is something pretty new that I've done. I've got to tell you guys about that. Well, this is the deal. What I do now, they're 30-minute private one-on-one time with you. And that is an appointment that you can get. You just call 901-380-4445, or you can go to my website, and I'm going to put that link up too so you guys can see that, how to do that. Okay, we're right here on the show today, and we're going to talk a little bit about, let's see, what's our next thing that we want to talk about? Yes. Okay, we want to talk about these micro rings. It's like a micro ring hair extensions. It's really been around for a while, but you know, I just want to talk about it a little bit, because these micro ring hairstyles extensions, I think they're pretty cool, and they can be a great way to cover up thinning. But the one I like to use them for, or I would recommend, is for extensions. Like if you want to have longer hair, if you have hair that's on your shoulder, but you want longer, I just have not seen damage that it does to the hair shaft. It does really do well. I'm sure anything that's good, we can kind of find a way to ruin it, but because people just want to do it better, they just want to make it better, they just want to get it on and stay longer and blah blah blah. It's just, you know, it's kind of one of those situations, but we really do have to make sure that we're careful to protect and preserve. So what would be the problem with micro ring hair extensions? Well, here's the deal. Micro ring hair extensions are really good, and I think that that's something great that we can do. But this is what happens, just like I said, with anything that we do, we have to be careful. Now, what I found, even though I'm not seeing a lot with the hair, what I'm finding is a problem with traction. Here's what we try to do is, again, as I said earlier, we try to make sure that we have it where it will stay. We want to make sure that, hey, okay, we want it to stay. We want it to keep it on there as long as possible. So now we have a situation where you are pulling the follicle. Whenever you pull the follicle, then you are going to have a problem with the hair follicle becoming stressed, and you can cause or even traction breakage. Okay, so it's really important. Oh, I talked about last week. Okay, someone says, Blondie, hi Blondie. I'm just gonna dump in there. She said, I'm glad that you talked about protein sensitive last week. I heard so many naturals and all let's see, she said, oops, that was somebody else jumped in there. Hold on, that was Jackie jumped in. Let's go back to Blondie. She said, I heard so many naturals and some stylists talk about being protein sensitive, telling let's move that up. She said, telling others to step away from the protein. Yeah, and we're going to talk some more about that today, because we still want to talk about protein versus moisturizer. So important. Thank you, Blondie, for always tuning in. And just, you know, send this link to them. Say, hey, talked about it. And a trichologist and someone who can really help them to understand, and give them that link on the consultation, because they may want to debate with me, and we'll stream it live if they like. I'll be happy to do that, to stream live, but just a debate with any stylist. And when I say debate, I'm talking about a friendly debate, because I think it's crucial that we get our stylists involved with trichology, because this is the problem across the country and around the world. Stylists or don't have the kind of connection that they need to have with trichologists. So now you have a situation where they don't understand the science as well as they should behind our hair. So they're just kind of styling. And this is another one. She said, okay, will do. Thank you, Blondie. Okay, so Jackie Williams, she said, hi, love. She said, I love your products. Yay. My hair, that's what she meant. And she said, for many years, I used hair color to cover gray. It lasted all of 2 weeks. A few months ago, and now I noticed some areas are turning brown. Could this be from the sun? Well, it depends. Whenever your hair changes, and if you had like black hair, or in your case gray, of course gray is just an illusion, it's just the white and the dark hair together, and it looks gray. When you look under the microscope, it gives you that, it differentiates the hair. But here you have brown hair, and if it's turning brown and it was once white, then you may be getting color pigments back into the hair that you once had. If it was dark hair and it's turning brown, then you may be losing color pigments, because this is how it works. Your hair starts out at one color. For example, if your hair is black or dark brown and it turns to a lighter brown, then you're losing those pigments, and those pigments from dark to lighter. And part of getting to the lighter stage would be the brown. Okay, so that means you're slowly going to get to white hair or gray hair. Let me be clear, but if you have white hair and the white hair is now turning dark, then your follicle may begin to produce some dark pigments. So that once white hair is now growing out to a darker hair. It's getting some dark pigments. So then that dark pigment may result into brown. Also, if it's white hair, it could be staining from your environment. It could be dust or debris, or it could or something that's causing it. So I'm more to know what's really going on. All right, cool. Hey guys, if you're just tuning in for the very first time, I'm Trichologist Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor, and we're here today talking about hair. My chat room is open, and we're beginning to chat away here. I'm here live in the WDI studios and iHeartRadio. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I'm here each and every week right here in WDI studios and iHeartRadio. Chat rooms open. You can email me if you are not able to chat, and that's lisa@lisaakbari.com. And we're here talking about the micro ring extensions. And one of the things that I was seeing that the challenge with that, and you can just kind of Google it and look it up. And I mean, you know, it's interesting. There are some of the YouTubers, they're even on how to do it. Wow. So much for having it professionally done. But, you know, hey, if you can do something at home and it's not a chemical, I think you should. But I also think you should think about the professional aspect, because you have professionals out there that can do these things and should be able to give you some great prices. But I do have to admit, I love the cyber community on YouTube that will do things that are safe. But the problem with the YouTube, if I have to say there's any problem, is the disconnect from total truth when it comes to what's going to grow my hair and those kind of things, or some of these home remedies and blah, blah, blah. You have to be really careful with that. So if you ever run into that problem where you're saying, wow, that really sounds good, or she had no hair and now she has lots of hair, then email me that link. I'll review it, and then I'll get back with you. And I'll do for my wife. Oh, just remember that, guys. All right, because I am your hair doctor, and that doesn't cost you a thing. Okay, guys, let's get back to topic. So one of the things we talked about with the micro rings is that extensions, that's the traction. If they're pulling it so close to the scalp and clamping down with that. So if you want to know what micro rings is, basically it's where they put a little clamp there, and then around your hair. And then they take and slide a piece of hair in there as well. And then they take these plier type things and they close the hair down, the ring down over your hair and the added hair. Easy peasy, seems to be beautiful. But if they get it too close to your scalp and pull, then they're going to cause traction breakage or even traction alopecia, which is baldness. Also, you need to make sure you're cleaning them. They're low maintenance. They're not zero maintenance. And one of the things we find is that many people develop an itchy scalp because the debris gathers around the micro ring, and then you have a situation where the scalp begins to collect dust, dirt, debris, all the dead skin cells that are shedding from the scalp. They get trapped in there, cosmetic, hair products, those kind of things, and you end up with problems. So this is how you care for them. You have to get you an applicator bottle with clarifying shampoo and take that clarifying shampoo applicator bottle and go right around those rings, down, up and down the sides, all around the rings, and then take your fingers, forefinger and thumb, kind of squeeze around the rings, and then rinse, rinse, rinse right into the rings with water as warm as you can stand it. Then put your conditioner on, rinse that through, or even deep condition at least once a week. So you want to be able to care for them around. Make sure that no matter what style you wear, if you're going to wear the micro ring extensions, then you need to make sure that you are caring for your hair and that you're just not going to wear them as a zero maintenance in every 12 weeks or 6 weeks or however long you keep them in. That's when you shampoo and condition. No. That's going to cause problems. Maybe not initially, but it's an accident. It's one of those things that I call an accident waiting to happen. Okay, if you have questions about micro ring extensions, hair extensions, and let me know right in the area. So if you have, what I've seen is with braids as well, put that right in the center on those small little strands that are left. No, don't do that. Go up at least a ½ an inch away from the perimeter of your thin area. Like if you have it thinning in the crown, you go a ½ an inch away from your perimeter of the thinning area forward, and so that you put in the micro ring can overlap on top of it, kind of not like a comb over, but it'll overlap on the top. But make sure you're not pulling your hairline. Okay, those are my tips. Again, if there are more questions, I will be more than happy to answer it. Now let's talk a little bit about this mesotherapy for locks and this versus like the steroid injection. And mesotherapy is just something, I don't know if it's super new. It's a little bit new to me. I've just done a little bit of research on it, and I'm going to continue to do it because I do like to watch. It's supposed to be a non-surgical procedure, and it's like a non-surgical cosmetic medicine treatment. That's how they're framing it. Well, multiple injections to go into the scalp. Now, where are we going? We're going into the hypodermis area, the subcutaneous fat areas, and that's like you have the epidermis, the dermis, and then the hypodermis, which is where it's like the anchor layer that nobody ever talks about. Everybody talks about the epidermis and the dermis. Well, it goes right into that area, and it puts this injection into the area. Now, what are they injected in there? And then what's the end result, and what are all the, what are the things that people are thinking could happen? It's supposed to be plant extracts, vitamins, and other ingredients are going in there. Like I said, I need a little bit more information. I need to know, because I want to be able to tell my patients if this is something that will work well for them. Well, and you can Google it. It's mesotherapy, like me, M-E, and so, S-O, and then therapy. That's how you spell it. And so it's mesotherapy, mesotherapy. Well, I'm hearing these things, and it's just at one site. They're just saying that 90 to 92% people are getting the results. opposed to people who use minoxidil, like in Rogaine, that active ingredient in Rogaine, that are only getting like 50% results. Who knows? Injections in general response different to them. I don't really recommend a lot. Anything that would require you to inject into your scalp, unless it's something that your medical doctor says you need for health reasons. So I'm just not a fan of all this. But what are they putting inside there? They're putting like vitamins like A, C, E, and K. And they're using the A to regulate the cellular turnover. Because what happens when you are growing hair, you have this proliferation, this multiplying of the cells, and then they're differentiating. They're becoming different forms of things, like it's filling up with care. They're becoming more keratinized. They're forming the hair. Okay, they put vitamin C in there. They said it's important for the collagen. And when we're younger, we have more collagen in our skin. It helps to supposed to help to reduce hyperpigmentation. See, that hyperpigmentation, not hypo, hyperpigmentation, we're going to talk about both of them. And it's when you start having these dark spots in the scalp, and then the hypopigmentation, when it's just, you lose the melanin, the color pigment in the scalp. So it gets to the function of the follicle. I haven't really seen anything that's going to help with that. But see, this is the deal. And even with my natural treatments, what we try to do is create an environment so that the body will do what it needs to do. Now, this is it sounds like it's trying to help the body along. And I will come back, guys, and talk more about this. One of the other things that they use in those injections, in the vitamin part of it, is the vitamin E. And it's supposed to be an antioxidant, and it helps with anti-aging of the skin. Now, I am a true believer in anti-aging of the scalp, because what happens when you age your scalp, and I book over here. If you do not have it, I will put a link up on my book, Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair at Any Age. It's important because when you age your scalp, you have a very polluted scalp. It's dehydrated. It's hard for it to renew itself, because scalp is skin, and it's really needs to be able to turn over that skin and shed it away. New skin comes in. But we create an environment on the surface of the skin. It's kind of like we do a facial. I'm a licensed esthetician as well. You would just do a facial, but it's for the scalp. So it's like a deep exfoliating, detoxing, those kinds of things. Well, whenever you can put antioxidants, and we use green tea and green tea leaves for that in our treatments, it's crucial, because it helps. When I found, and I conduct these studies to prove theories, so this is why I know what my treatments in my clinic will do, because when I found patients with enlarged, dilated, mouth of the follicles dilated, when we pack their scalp with the green tea leaves, and with it's a mixture with aloe vera gel, and we have some other, and all this is pure, the pores shrink and tighten up. It puts more elasticity. It gives it a youthful look and feel, and it really helps us to have just the right size to the mouth of that follicle. So, I believe in a lot of what they're saying as far as needing the antioxidants and things like that. But, again, I need to do more research. Vitamin K, that's one of the things that they use in their in this injection, in the mesotherapy injection. And they're saying that it's going to help with the clogging mechanisms of the blood, and aiding and helping, I think, with inflammation as well. So it's just do your research. Now, here's online for the side effects. They said within a few hours of undergoing the treatment, some patients will feel, and they said these are in the minority of them, will feel like some symptoms of dizziness, fever, sweating, and even fainting. Ooh, we don't want that. Some short-term side effects at the injections of the site may be mild, just a little swelling, bruising, itching, general discomfort in the area. And one of the things you got to keep in mind, you got a needle, and that needle is being injected into your skin. So automatically the skin is going to respond. The pain receptors will respond, so it will hurt sometimes. And it depending on where it is and if the skin is already healthy. And see, this is what I always talk about when it relates to any type of hair regrowth. I talk to patients, like, for example, I partner with a lot of the implant surgeons. And one of the things that I try and do is what I call pre-care. So prior to the surgery, I want to make sure that epidermis is really, really super healthy. So you don't have just a reaction because you already have a damaged scalp. So we got to look at all those things. And what I've found with a lot of these, even some of the folks who do the injections, even though I love their techniques, I find that sometimes they don't do that pre-care. So you've got patients going in having these injections and they end up with all the side effects afterwards. So healthy skin first, and you got to make sure that you're getting what you need. But that's it. So now let's talk about let's compare it to the steroid injections. Why are the steroid injections done? And what's the difference? Steroid injections are more putting they're trying to get rid of the inflammation. So now you have steroid and they're putting that into the skin. They're going right into the follicle, because some of these types of alopecia that stems from it's called cicatricial is one of them. And cicatricial, basically, where you have these inflammatory cells that are around the actual mouth. Right at the base where the hair of the follicle, where the hair is developing, and it's inflamed. So what happens is you end up with this scarring and destroying the follicles. So the steroid injections are used for that. Again, end of those, but I think that you need to really do your research on it, look at the side effects, because some people have had an adverse effect. They've lost more hair. So it just depends on the individual. Hey guys, if you're just tuning in for the very first time, I'm Trichologist Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor. And listen, I'm pretty excited about the show today. We've been talking today about hair. We've got so much. We did a little bit of celebrity news, and then we talked a little bit about your hair and how, let's see. Okay, great. I've got everybody. Your hair and how it's your scalp is affected by micro hair extensions, micro ring hair extensions. Talked about the sun, and we talked about how to care for your hair in the sun. So if you're just tuning in, please make sure that you go back and look at the whole show, because it's great. I'm on YouTube, and please subscribe to my YouTube page, because this is one of the ways you get all these free videos from me. I did put a link if you need something more private and you really need some one-on-one time with me. I put a link up for my cyber I think that's the one, yeah, for my cyber time where I do the consultation. I'll be more than happy to do that for you. It says, for many years, I had color to cover my gray. Okay, she would say that. Could I be it? So, okay, all right. So she already answered that question. Okay, let's get down to the very last one. And we're just going to spend the last minutes talking about this. Now, we have this protein conditioner versus moisturizing conditioners. Which one should we use, or should we use both? What is really going on? And that's why I put on the title of the show, I put protein or moisturizer, question mark. What's the difference? Question mark. Protein sensitive, question mark. Because it's still a question. And as Blondie said earlier, you have now stylists telling their clients that it is a problem, that you have to really pay attention to this, and blah, 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 and yada, yada. Let me just start with this. The stylist can only tell you what they know. They can only tell you what, but I always warn my stylists, get down to the facts. Get the truth. Question. Don't just tell your clients just anything. And I don't do that with my patients. I research. And I am teaching a class, and we're getting trichologists educated. I'm teaching a class right now, and I work with Southwest Community College here in Memphis, Tennessee. And I'm teaching a class on trichology 101. Stylists out there and they're interested in trichology, the science part of their industry, just tell them to email me, Lisa at lisaakbari.com. And I'll be more than happy to help them out. But really, let's be honest, protein and moisture. What is it? Which one? You need both. That's the first answer. Protein you need because protein strengthens the hair. Moisture you'll need because moisture hydrates the hair. There, as you've heard me say time after time, there's a delicate protein and moisture level within the hair shaft that must stay balanced. Why do we need protein? For strength. Why do we need moisture? To hydrate. And you especially need it natural hair, and anybody who's wearing any kind of, if they're shampooing, they need it, because any color, any heated tools, I don't care what, relaxers, permanent waves, it doesn't matter. You need to balance that hair. Now, if you're wearing really short hair and you, every time it grows out past an inch, you cut it off, no worries. You just groom it, meaning that you put your moisturizer on and your oils to make it look good, because you're going to cut it off anyway. To have hair of any length, any quality at all, you need to use conditioners, proteins, and moisturizers. And so what's the difference? Protein is what the hair is mostly composed of, a protein called keratin. And that's what happens when that hair grows, as it's growing and developing in your follicle. Before it emerges from the mouth of the follicle, it gets filled with keratin. It's called keratinization. So it's keratinized. As it emerges, it is going to get a little dump from our sebaceous glands of oils. And those oils are going to seal keratinized fiber so that it doesn't dry out as soon as it hits the air. So it's sealing in some natural moisture. So once it emerges, then you want doing it, you're blow drying it, you're relaxing it, you're combing it, you're detangling, you're brushing, you're blah. Anything else y'all can think of you do to it, you doing it. Well, you got to put some of that back, because you're ripping and tearing the hair and you're losing, you're not balanced. So you need that protein put back in. Okay? Now, what is moisture? Moisture hydrates. So we have about, and there's a little debate on this, 98% protein, 2%, sometimes it's 3%, you'll see in research, moisture. Just enough so the hair is pliable, so you don't have this stiff, hard substance, so that it's hydrated. So that's what's happening with the hair. So can you be protein sensitive? No. You cannot, because the hair cannot. Can your hair be protein sensitive? No. Not, because hair is dead keratinized cells. It can't be sensitive to what it's made out of. But this is why people have problems with protein, because protein is going, if you overuse the protein and don't use moisture with it, like one time, and I was talking about this last week, there was this big problem with people breaking, and it still is, but the thing they ran to was these 911 conditioners, which was straight protein. And so what happened, protein only, your moisture levels would plummet and you would dehydrate, so the hair was breaking. So this is what you want, and I put the link up there last week, and I'll do it again this week if I need to. You want a conditioner that's going to give you protein and moisture. And I'll say it every week until these questions stop coming into my email box about protein and moisture. Go tell your stylist to listen to this last part of the video so that she would understand that you can get protein on the hair. Your hair cannot be sensitive because it's just dead keratinized cells. but you have to balance it with moisture, because if not, your hair will dehydrate. And that's the sensitivity they're speaking of. Your skin can have an allergic reaction to anything if your body does not receive it. If it says, "Ooh, like I can't eat peaches, so my face, I will break out around my mouth." Everybody's different. So that's something different. If it's a rash and redness and itching, you may be having a contact dermatitis, an allergic reaction, but your hair can't do it. There you go. And there it is. If you guys are just tuning in for the very first time, welcome to the show. I'm Trichologist Lisa Akbari, your hair doctor. I'm here each and every week right here in the WDI studios. I am a certified trichologist. I'm here right here. If you have a question for me, you can chat me or you can email me, lisa@lisaakbari.com. This video will be, and this show will be archived and it will be played again. So make sure you tune in. So you can go to my YouTube page and you can find it and you'll see me. And I do things with my hair and have all kinds of fun. And you can see me. You can say hello. So I'm your hair doctor and I'm here all the time just trying to help out, because I believe this is my way to give back. It is a beautiful day. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And you know what? Our time is just about up, but I'm going to take another quick look at our chat room to see if we have any questions. Oh, yeah. So Blondie said, okay, will do. And thank you so much. I will definitely share this. Please, please do, guys, because this is how we help our stylists. This is how we help our sisters and brother. We do that by sharing. So make sure you share. I'm also going to put, like I mentioned, the link up about, and I think I did it last week, about proteins and moistures and things like that, but we're out of time, so I'm just going to put that link up. You can go to my lisa@lisaakbari.com, or you can call 901-380-4445, 901-380-4445. Monday through Saturday, we're right there, and someone is answering the phone for you. All right. Love you guys. To Jesus, you know who I serve. Family, I love you, my radio family. I will see you next week right here on Ask the Hair Doctor. Have a good evening or afternoon while watching or listening to my